We're taking three. We are taking three here. Take three. We're having problems, just all kinds of problems this morning with even getting a basic stream up and working, and don't know what's going on here, folks. I just don't have a technical team. I don't have a crew. You would think after 10 years of telling people how things were going to go down the line, you would actually think that, yeah, I'm not going to get into that this morning on Average Mics because this is just an average show. And yeah. So let's see if it's up on the Facebook page. And all right, so we got the old one here. I'm just going to delete that one. No one even sees my stuff on Facebook anymore. I'm back. I am back on shadow ban mode on Facebook again, guys. So nobody's seeing anything I'm posting at all. I went from 2.8 million people viewing my views in 28 days, 2.89 million, so almost 2,800,000, and now I'm back to nothing. And okay, so YouTube is now working. So video audio is, if this live, I don't know what to tell people to tell them so that they know I'm live. I don't know what to say on a live stream anymore. It should be telling people it's live, but I guess if it doesn't tell you that I am live, folks, I'll just bring it up every 15 seconds so everybody knows we are live, folks, here on Average Mics. And okay, Garrett, good. Rumble's working. We got 2 people watching, 1 person watching, and Odyssey, we got 2 people watching, and Facebook page with 121,000 followers, we have nobody, 1 person watching. So, okay, so there we go. And nobody watching on Twitch, and DLive is pretty much dead. 5 viewers. I got more people on DLive. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm telling you. I have 10 followers on DLive, or 20, I can't tell. I got 22 followers on DLive. Hear me out. I have 5 people watching me right now out of 22. 5. I have 121,000 on my first Facebook page. I have no one watching right now on the Facebook with 121,000 followers, and 94,000 on the Mic in the Night. I think it's 0 followers, 0 people watching too. Wow, that's how bad. That's what happens. You know, this is why. Yeah, it's getting biblical now, says Giovanni. That's what's happening, folks. It's becoming. We're getting to a point where they're forcing you to pick sides. And you're seeing a lot of Rumble heroes now picking sides, and a lot of people hating on the Rumble heroes now. And, yeah, and I told you guys why I didn't pick sides, and you got a bunch of posers. So I did the whole why I haven't picked sides on the other live talk show we did. The second that this broke, I was basically telling people why I just don't take sides on this, why I'm not... it's for the people, right? It's for the people on both sides. I feel for the people, right? In the middle of this garbage, right? So that's what it was. And then a bunch of posers came out a few days after, following my whole little lead there that I did. And they basically, what they did was they wanted to see. So what these posers do is, and we're talking about very, very big YouTuber. We're talking about big influencers, okay? So what they do is, we could fix, let's make the 3 years disappear. Why I haven't taken sides. So what happens is, I make a video like this. This is from this is from Saturday night, Mic in the Night. Administration, the Israeli administration is a conflict. People are the ones that are suffering with this conflict. Okay? The Israeli administration is at fault. The administration in those countries are at fault. Okay? It's the American administration that's at fault, not the American people. the American administration, the Canadian administration, the Ukrainian administration, the Russian administration. They're all at fault. The people on the ground, the innocent lives, the families, they just want to live their lives. They don't want to be part of any... So now what these posers do is so this video, this was live on Mike on the Night on Saturday night when rockets were going blasting and everything. And I just basically came out and basically said, I'm not taking sides. I'm on the side of the people. And so a lot of people weigh in and actually agree with me and agree with what I said. And then you get a bunch of posers a day, 2, 3 days later that would wait for the comments to come up and kind of test the waters and then go out and make their big announcement. How I don't take sides and blah, blah, blah. And then when I put a video like this 3 days later after Mike in the Night, so what I do is I clip out Mike in the Night for you guys. I clip it out in clips. So a few days later, I would put up a video a few days down the road. And then somebody would send me a clip of a guy saying the same thing I'm saying, but he's referencing the clip from 3 days after the show when I originally said it. Then I send him back a link to the original Mike in the Night when we basically said it originally, and then I don't get a reply from nobody. And this is the little internal war that people are having. This is the internal war that the truther movement has created, right? And that's why I'm not a truther. And that's why I don't know why people are branding me as some, where did this guy come from? Nobody knows who the hell this guy is. And I've been warning people for the last 10 friggin' years about this. So this is the problem we're having here. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, Rigor Mortis. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, David. Good morning, Gary. Good to see you guys. Josh, we are live, folks. For people that are not seeing, if there's no live thing around, we are live right now, folks. So don't know what the platforms are doing, but I think it's showing us live on every other platform except YouTube. But yeah, Rumble's live. Oh, I got 10 people. Why do I have 10 people watching me on Rumble? Wow, I got people watching me on Rumble. Who are the Rumble heroes tonight? Who are the Rumble heroes? Yeah, we're the Rumble heroes. Let's see who the Rumble heroes are today. Let's go to, I want to see who the Rumble heroes are. I hope it's not that guy that's eating rice all the time. Oh, stay free, baby. Here's your Rumble hero right there. Sex and drug-fueled Russell Brand turns on a coin or makes a change 2 years ago and warns the people. Why wasn't he warning people 10 years ago? Why wasn't he out there? Why was he? But now it's, stay free. Stay free right there, boy. Yeah, stay free, you hero. Who else? Charlie Kirk, don't know. Dan Bean Genie, don't know. Ruben Report, don't know. V Fury, don't know. But if you go back to a lot of these channels on YouTube, they did exist. But they were taking poops. They were eating sandwiches and taking poops and showing people what the poop looked like after eating the sandwich. I'm willing to bet 10 years of my life on it, if you want. But, yeah. Bean Genie. So there's your Rumble heroes there. And that's why everybody is just tuning out of Rumble because of this. They're just tired of Rumble heroes. And they're tired of sensationalized headlines. They're tired of the post-dictions. Nobody wants to hear post-dictions all day. Everyone's tired of this shit. Everybody's tired of this shit. Of this sensationalizing headlines. Nobody cares. But that's all they're shoving down people's throats. It's the sensationalized of headlines. So, Patriot Parabellum saying, warning, tomorrow is going to get ugly. CJ saying, I couldn't see the comments for the beginning of the stream. Yeah. Via Fieri was a lawyer in Montreal and moved to Florida. That's nice. I tried to move to Florida. I even had a corporation sponsor me. Wasn't stealing an American's job. Passed my physical background check, criminal background check, everything good to go. And they basically told me to F off. Just for a green card. So like I said before, America has laws in place to protect them from garbage like me. from garbage like me from coming in the country. They put up all this shit. They make you go through a lot of shit. Right? You have to make sure you have, 20 grand or 30 grand in your bank account? You have to make sure all this stuff, which I did. I had everything lined up. 5 years later, they told me to go back to my country or they're going to physically deport me out of America. So America does have laws to protect its citizens. They're in place to protect them from garbage like me. You know what garbage like me is? Is the guy that tells you the truth all the time. That's why I've made 2 grand in 10 years on asshole social media, telling the truth. So Patriot Parabellum saying, I'm sorry, people. You must listen and prepare and keep your kids home. So. All right. So the Rumble Heroes are going strong right now with their bullshit sensationalizing of headlines. And that's just what it is. But Mike, you read headlines on your show. Yeah, but we've been making predictions and connecting the dots for the last 10 friggin' years. That's the problem with this show. You get shit on for telling people what's going to happen, and then it happens, you get shit on, and then you make a video to show somebody what you said, and then you get shit on again. But that's just how it is. Scratch my ass is saying, we could use more garbage like yourself in my neck of the woods. Yep. JT is a weak man who will create hard times, says CJ. Should be able to claim asylum in the U.S. Guys, I did everything by the book. I got a corporation to sponsor me. I ran ads to make sure I wasn't stealing an American's job. I made sure, I think it was 20 or 30. I got to check my paperwork. 20 or 30 grand in a bank account. I did everything by the book, man. I had a proper address. I was living on my own. I did everything. Like, I'm talking like legitimate, like to the T, connected, everything, lawyers, everything, big corporation, surrendering private, paperwork to immigration to allow me to be there. And then they just basically told me to piss off, get out, or they're going to physically deport me out of the country. So America does have laws. America has laws to protect its people, right? So when people in Merritt are pissed off I'm here to come here to change the town, well, I would have lived in Florida as the first shot. That would have been the first one. Second shot, I would have stayed in Vancouver if a broken down house didn't cost $3 million that you could buy in Alabama for 40 grand. So I forced out of Vancouver. Now I'm here in this town, right? I'm not liked in this town. I'm hated in this fucking town, but that's okay. But people need to realize why I'm here, why I was pushed here. Because I had a lot of other places I tried to live in. Yeah, so they're dropping leaflets everywhere. Yeah. Go down to Mexico and just cross the border. Yeah, and the same thing. Same thing with up here. This open border policy. People in Canada or people around the world, what's happening? Okay. Let me tell you what's happening with this American open border policy. People are flying in from countries that Trudeau loves. So it's not European, it's countries like in the Middle East, Africa. They're flying into Canada. And they have this misconception in their heads that open borders are Canada and Mexico are wide open. No. On the American side, they'll SWAT you. If you go through a cornfield, they have ground-penetrating radar, lasers. The northern border is secure. Okay? That big border in the north is secure. America does have a facility and infrastructure in place to protect its big northern border with Canada and the United States, but they fail to implement that stuff in the southern Mexican border. So when people are saying, oh, it's so hard to monitor the southern border, no, it's not. You just do what they do to the Canadians up north, or people trying to come through. So this misconception of people coming from the Middle East, coming from India, coming from China, coming from other countries, they come to Canada thinking the open border policy, because Trudeau brings everybody in, right? Trudeau would love for Canada to border like Honduras or something, to get people flooding into Canada. That's what Trudeau would love, but that's a Catholic country, so that won't work. So like Afghanistan would be on the border with Canada. Trudeau would love it. Love it. If Afghanistan bordered Canada, wide open border, right? But Canada doesn't have that. We border the most armed civilianry in the world, Americans, and they're the most private citizen, armed citizens in the world, right? And Trudeau doesn't like that, right? So the problem is this misconception of people coming into the Canadian side and then walking down into America. You're not going to walk into America from Canada. Especially if you're European expansion and you're Catholic or Christian, forget about it. They take your ass and deport you back to Canada. So America has the infrastructure in place to protect its borders. The Canada, one of the widest, longest borders in the world, is heavily guarded against garbage like me that's going to come and try down there and raise his family and buy a house within means, start a business within my means. But it's to protect you Americans from garbage like me. But then the southern border is wide open. So people watching this internationally, I get a lot of emails on this where people want to fly into Canada. They're telling me in the email, I want to fly into Canada and I want to go to America. Flying to Mexico, that's the way to do it. Flying into Canada is a big no-no. So go down to Mexico. No, we read that. Mike, have a chance to come in the USA. Mike, wife can petition to come in the USA. Mike, what happens to the house you built in the Philippines? It's still there. It's just empty. We just have to go there and visit it because we just sitting on it. Patriot Barabellum 2 is saying, I have done all I can. Patriot out. Josh is saying, you are correct. That's right, Mike. No one is more hated than he who speaks the truth. Keep speaking the truth, Mike. CJ saying, Steve Stevens, Mike couldn't leave the country for a while. Yeah, the last time I visited the United States, it was a very interesting. So America does have the infrastructure to protect its borders, plain and simple. The last time I visited the United States, I was going down to Seattle just to go hang out or whatever. I was going to go do some shopping and hanging out. I get to the border. They put my car in a different. So they tell me to drive up into a different section. Then someone takes my car. I go into a waiting room, like an office. I sit there. I fill out the forms or whatever. I sit there. I wait about 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. And then they arrest me. They put me in a jail cell. And they grabbed my junk. They searched me. Then they made me take off my clothes. And I'm in a jail cell. I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting. And then I don't know what to say. I'm there for about 50 minutes, an hour, hour and a half. Then they come back. They give me back my clothes. I get dressed. And then I go back to the front. And then he's murmuring a number. He's a 172 or 171 or 163. And I don't even know what that means, right? And I'm like, I don't know what that means. What's going on, guys? They're like, oh, you're allowed to come in. And I'm like, but why would you, why would you do this to me for? I didn't do anything. I've never done anything in my life. So America does have the infrastructure to detain people and hold them basically hold them until they don't find whatever it is they're looking on them for them. You know what I'm saying? So that's my experience at the U.S. Last visit to the United States of America. And if I want to go through there with my family, are they going to do? Well, they'll probably do the same thing to me in front of my family to teach me a lesson. Because that's how it works in this world. You tell the truth, you're garbage. You're shadow banned, and Rumble heroes come and Twitter stars come in to take all the to take all the action. Yeah, Texas could separate to the U.S. That's why Texas is the Lone Star state, and that's what in the Texas Constitution they just need to separate. They need to become the Republic of Texas again, and get a president and get everything. Texas is big enough to be its own independent country. It's got its own resources. It doesn't have to be under the Obama Biden garbage regime administration anymore. Texas is the Lone Star state. It doesn't need to be part of the United States. Yeah, U.S. border guards don't F around. That's right. They don't. Low roller scratchers in the comments here on Average Mics. Yeah, guys, I don't know. It's Average Mics, episode 5. I'm pissed off. I'm just in a pissy mood today. I woke up well this morning. I woke up in a good mood. I'm just really pissy, you know what I'm saying? And got 19 people watching me here on Rumble. Let's go over the channel. We got Odyssey, 2 people. I was trying to think who else we got here. Facebook is running. And I got 6 people on Facebook. Yeah! Sabrina is saying good people are always hated on Facebook. Sarah is saying it'll be global worldwide. UK major racial issues, certain areas of places all against British. Whites told to leave areas, police paid off, corrupt. I'm using GM police. This is a global agenda. Everyone should be prepared. So, anyways, guys. Hey, guys, I created a new buy a coffee. Somebody, I want to thank the woman from Pittsburgh that mailed me in the description below. There should be a link. There should be links in the description, guys, if you want to support the channel. Here's the link to the most powerful glutathione in the world. I'll put this on the YouTube stream because we got more people. There it is right there if you guys want to sign up under me just to help the transmission out. And I reopened Buy a Coffee, so if you guys want to buy me a coffee, go ahead and buy me a coffee. Somebody mailed me 40 or 50 bucks American. No, was it a $50 bill? Yeah, it was a crisp $50 bill from Pittsburgh. Some lady mailed it to my store. I don't know how the mail got through to my store because I don't have a mailbox to the store because I refuse to pay $500 a year for a mailbox for my store in a Canadian small town. And, yeah. Mike, are you still trading stocks? No, I haven't traded stocks in ages now. I haven't traded stocks in them in I don't know how many years, and I don't know how long now. A year now, 8 months. But I just heard my mom leaving the house. I wonder if my daughter is with her. Let me go check, folks. Oh. Yeah, they're going to preschool for the day. Just to go hang out. But yeah, you are tuned into Average Mics. I'm pretty pissy today. Sorry about that, folks. This is what happens when you look at reality. This is what happens when you see reality. When you start to see the eyes of someone that's telling you the truth. Okay. All right. What do we got open here? Obviously here they are, you can see it here, Israel is evil. So they're creating the divide here. And a lot of Rumble heroes and Twitter stars are falling into that trap. And YouTube celebrities are falling into the trap. Israel versus evil. No power for Gaza until hostages release. U.S. Marines on standby. There it is right there. U.S. Marines on standby. Latest 1,300 killed, 3,000 wounded. That's what they're saying. And they're creating the divide. They want to divide you at the household. They originally divided you at the household in 2007 and 2008. Everyone was arguing by 2010, Florida, or 2012, Florida will be underwater. So they created this really big divide. Okay? They created this climate change, global warming bullshit divide back then. And then they moved forward from there, and then it was Donald Trump. And people were divided in households in Germany, Australia, New Zealand. People were being divided in households in other countries over Donald Trump. And they succeeded with that. And they succeeded with the global warming. Florida will be underwater by 2012. And what happened in 2012? Nothing. Al Gore bought oceanfront property in Florida. Right? So, okay, let's keep moving forward here. So then you go into the Great Divide. Then you go into all of these Middle Eastern wars, all of these Ukraine, picking and dividing, people divided at the household level, at the house. That's how they're getting us on our doorstep, people. They're getting us like this. So, oh, yeah, no, Russia, Putin's evil. No, Zelensky's evil. No, the people on the ground are the ones that are suffering because of this bullshit. So they create that divide. Now it's Israel versus evil. So we put a little meme up here on our community section. On our, I'm on Twitter, but nobody follows me on there, so I don't even bother. So there it is. We put some photos up here for you guys to see. Meanwhile, today in Canada, what a bunch of pathetic losers, and they're all wearing masks, signing some sort of bill that's going to impoverish and enslave more Canadians. And then here it is. U.S. taxpayer dollars and U.S. taxpayer dollars on both sides. And the French did that for years in Africa. And then they just blamed the Portuguese for it. So, and there it is right there. The switcheroo, the good old switcheroo here. And that's what they are trying so hard to do. And they're trying to flip the narrative and create the divide at the household. They will create divide on every front, folks. Don't believe in the people. Believe in the people on the ground. Believe in the families. Believe in the people that pay their taxes. Believe in the people that have worked their way through life and contributed towards building this infrastructure. Believe in the people that believe in you. And that's all I could say. Start mending fences at the house, man. Stop with this crap at the house. Stop with this divide. And that's what they're doing. And this is what we've been trying to say for so long now on this damn channel. Don't comply and avoid the divide. Right? Don't comply and avoid the divide. There we go. We coined a new term. But that's okay. This video is going to go on a little clip replay in a couple of minutes. A little clip replay, a few minutes long. And then someone's going to say, oh, you're stealing somebody again, Mike. Don't comply. Don't comply. Stop the divide. Or don't comply, no divide. And that's what's happening, folks. And, anyways, let's go back to the comments here. I went to my McDonald's dining closed due to worker shortage. A few years ago, McDonald's was open all the time. And then someone says, I wanted to move to Naples, Florida 3 years ago. I'm a 50, retired, well-off, wealthy, and no criminal record. No dice for me. Maybe I'll fly to Mexico and walk in through the States like the illegal. So there's Rick right there. Rick saying the same thing. He tried, as a Canadian, if you're a Canadian liar, if you are a criminal and whatever, they'll let you in the States. They'll leave you alone. And I don't know why that is, but somebody that is retired, well off, and wants to move to Naples, Florida should be able to. Right? Especially with the southern wide open border. But no. Look at who are creating the divide and who benefits from it. That's from Giljinder Desi there in the comments. A good friend of mine came up to visit me a few times. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to give this a try here. The restreaming software seems to be working now. And seems to be working. And it's the same thing with the divide. Look at the Rumble heroes. Look at the Twitter stars. Look at the YouTube sensations. Look at all of them. Look at their channels. Look what they were talking about for 10 years before, and then flip the script a year ago. I found a channel with almost a 250,000 subscribers in 1 year. Flip the script. Was doing tool reviews for a year, for 6 years, 7 years, and then flipped the script out of Canada and was given the green light to go ahead and say what's on his mind. And they gave him the green light. Someone's saying the Rumble is not working for me. So yeah, we're just being tossed around, and that's just what it is. Nothing I could do about it, folks. Just being tossed around. We are running out of platforms, and we are literally running out of platforms. And people will say, "Well, Mike, Rumble won't ban you." Yeah, they already did once. So before you guys go there, yeah, they already did once. So we got a problem here. We're running out of platforms. So it's like you try to tell the truth. You try to be good about things. You try to, give your perspective on what you think is right. And then what? Nothing. Rumble is a public company now. Rumble is the new YouTube, says Low Roller Scratcher. Yeah, that's what it is. No, I got kicked off of Kick. I did one live stream on Kick, and I got the policy violation email from them. That go on Kick. I have a channel. I'm not allowed to post. They leave the channel up on Kick. The channel's up on Kick. Mike Martin's Mike in the Net. You'll find it. And I have one follower, and I've got a violation termination on there, right? And the reason why is when you are talking about money laundering, from Chinese gangs, fentanyl made in Chinese factories, empty homes, people dying. Once you bring in money laundering from China in, you are done. Nobody knows of your existence. Once you start telling the truth, all these damn years telling the truth, you guys would be very, very shocked, at some of the things that we talked about here. Yeah, nobody reads beyond the headlines. That's correct. Exactly. Led Shoe says, Evilio do Tech. Even if you do read into the meat and potatoes, which we do a lot on Mike in the Night more when we get more time, we do read into the headlines. We do try to connect the dots, and we do try to, you know what I'm saying? And I try to give my perspective on things. I try to. Now, housing, okay? Now, housing is becoming something, and I don't understand why housing and affordability issues are making headlines now. But what about, like I don't understand. What about housing is out of control? What about when it was really happening and we could have fixed it? Australia's Mortgage Prison Part 4. I apologize because somebody wanted to watch Part 3, 2, and 1. We did part 1 8 years ago, but the video was taken down. They're converting homes into more low rises. Supply versus demand myth. Look, first time home buyer loans will rally markets, but will soon, what is that, spell doom if rates go up. 6 years ago. Calculate your total debt service ratio. Homes are new ATM machines. People borrowing too much. Housing affordability is declining. People taking on too much debt. All 6 years ago, folks. Look at this. Boom, double-digit loss. Real estate correction. Markets on fire. Affordability lost. It's global prices fall. Get out of Vancouver by 2018 or else. 7 to 11 billion laundered through Western Canada. It's crazy. And Canada wants more Chinese immigration to take over our housing markets. So we have a story here. New Zealand selling off its country. China will own Canada by 2020. Price boom in the GTA. Money laundering hard at work 6 years ago. So when you're constantly warning people about this for so many years, guess what happens? It's the platforms start. Look, Toronto housing takeover, California homeless disaster, goes on and on and on. You go to Russell Brand, he wasn't telling you this 6 years ago, right? All these big names, Andrew Tate, all these guys weren't warning you about this years ago. They're sensationalizing the headlines today, right? The most talented carpenter I know was a Portuguese guy. He was deported in the 80s. Yeah, Portuguese get deported from Canada all the time. So here it is. Look. Lumber industry in danger 6 years ago. Australian families in trouble. Household debt. Why I left Vancouver. Top 10 reasons. Housing powder keg ready to explode. Vancouver disappearing middle class. It's one after another. New Zealand's affordability crisis. FOMO begins. So 6 years ago, a lot of real estate agents were trying to tell people that if they don't buy now, they'll never own anything, and misleading people. Rental bidding wars. So people were bidding on rentals, and basically the highest bidder gets the property. And we even did look across the Commonwealth. Who would crash first? New Zealand, United States, the UK, Canada, Australia. Right here, 6 years ago. We're connecting the dots across the Commonwealth. It just keeps going and going and going and going and going and going. And rent-to-own scam. I remember that video. Gas all over the place. Gas prices all over the place. Housing to the moon. Okay, what else we got here? Youth, middle class, young family. There's lots of them. They're all over the place. And this is when they tried to burn us out before. Thick smoke, and they caught a bunch of arsons. That was 6 years ago. I love going through this. Australia clamps down on money laundering. Chinese retreat from Australian property market. London mass exodus, brain drain. London, England here. Launder your money here. Park your money in Canada. Canada tax hikes. They will tax you to death. Tax hikes 23% by 2020. That was a prediction I made 6 years ago. And one after another. Big bucks. Taxed to death. Gone by 2021. Woo! Because we have the track record. Money laundering, destroying affordability in Canada. Save the middle class. Governments turning citizens against each other. Look at this. Governments turning citizens against each other 6 years ago. Middle class is now house broke 6 years ago. This is before they pull the trigger on the pandemic, folks. Don't forget that. This is before Australian middle class under economic attack. Wake up. Get out of the city now. Cost of food and fuel getting out of reach. Basic housing overpriced 5 years ago. 5 years, 9 months ago. Rest in peace, middle class. 1945, 2023. Middle class to disappear by 2023 at the rate housing is going up, and not to mention taxation. Uncharted economic waters ahead. I think people will be priced out of electricity by 2025. So there's a lot of predictions here we've been making over the years. And it just keeps... I love going through this, guys. I love it because the track record is here. We've been talking about it. Other channels don't do this because they don't have it, right? Global housing collapse coming soon. Canadian, and not even 5 people watch some of these videos. Canadian youth to mass exodus major cities as people go broke. The Canadian brain drain ahead. Californians will be forced into homelessness. Massive rent increases ahead. Middle class under attack. Australia versus Canada. Foodflation. People will be priced out of food by 2023. Wake up, people. Feeding our families will get harder. Like, rates going up. Rates go up. Remember the banks were starting to raise rates 5 years ago? Well, we're starting to see a correction. Major housing correction ahead. One after another, after another, after another, after another. Remember desperate homeowners where people were burning their homes because they were worth less than what they bought them for the insurance to pay? Well, don't be surprised if that happens again. And just look, middle class bypassing quality food. It's one after another. Housing crisis screwing you. Fake demand. I love Vancouver. Morning coffee. Interest only mortgage rates disaster. Minimum wage is not a living wage, and we've been saying that for years. White people who practice yoga contributes to racism. 2018, a year of woke society. Digital book burning. New Zealand economic takeover. Canada is dying. Canada's dying. Fentanyl overdose. Problem with homeless encampments. Unexplained rental real estate price hike. One in 10 Canadians will be euthanized by 2025. But none of these Rumble heroes or anybody is actually talking about this. We found an article out of the UK that was actually discussing this, right? New Zealand economic takeover. America needs more CCP money laundering. Housing crisis. They're accepting reality. Canadians crossing American border for gas. Immigration destroying Australian affordability. 86% of immigrants live in major cities. Will Canada exist in 2030? That's a good question. Major Canadian real estate debt past 76% of GDP. Mass inflation to hit by 2022. Tax hikes again. White people leaving Vancouver. Banks on the edge of default. Get out now. Cities where people are racking up the most debt. Massive damage ahead in Canada. Escape San Francisco. Wikipedia supports digital book burning. CPP money laundering. Canada's economy and GDP dependent on CPP money laundering they will scrap the foreign buyers tax. Stop forcing me to trust the science. 5 years ago. If the elites are not poking their kids, why should I? Stop forcing me to trust the science. You should read the comments on that video. Canada's housing bubble crisis. Canada's been bought out for generations. Debt trap. Never sell on eBay. Form a fist network. Stop borrowing money now. Canadians taking on too much debt. Economic takeover of Kelowna. Canadian bankruptcy set to skyrocket. Kiwi sovereignty under attack via housing affordability. Defying logic, real estate. Toronto in economic trouble. Going broke. Australian housing disaster. So, millennials priced out of life 5 years ago. So we've been connecting for so many years. We've been working on this, trying to wake the people up for so many years, and then making predictions and trying to connect the dots and try to kind of create a little bit of a path for the average folk to kind of, hey, maybe this guy might be right about something. He's made over 5,000 videos. Maybe he's right. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I should question what he's talking about. So Patriot Canadian saying, "Hey Mike, howdy from how Saskatchewan. We need to talk, Mike. Your show the other day stated that we don't have a Bill of Rights. That is a lie, Mike. We have a Bill of Rights. It's Canadian law. Okay, I did not know that. I'm talking about maybe the way it's worded or whatever. I did not know that, right?" So, Yeah, we got videos here telling people to start arresting politicians in charge for basically destroying, going back 5, 6, 7 years too. I skimmed over them here real quick, but I was going more on the economic stuff. You know, gun buyback policy. Yeah, they want to disarm Canadians, hardworking Canadians, hunters. They want to disarm everybody. They want to basically, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to find out what my purpose is. Trying to find what my purpose is to be here on social media. Like, I'm trying to find out. I'm just trying to find out. I'm trying to find my way. I've been trying to find my way for I don't know how many years now on social media, and like, the word salads get out, the discussion pieces get out, but it's not me that gets it out, right? So there it is. There, 4,900 videos, right? And then my live streams is separate. I have, I don't know how many. I think it's like 16 or 1,700 now live streams that we've done for you guys. We would have more on YouTube, but they kicked off Mike in the Night, and then we were kicked off during the trucker protest. We weren't allowed to discuss the trucker rallies on my YouTube channel. Other channels were, and it's just what it is, right? Wow, wow, wow! Chico in the comments. Chico and the van. I used to watch you in an expensive apartment. I'm watching you now living in a van in the forest. Man, we need Chico. We need Chico Santana to call into the show. We need him to call into Mike in the Night. Okay? So, here, I'll give you guys the phone number for Mike in the Night here. There's the phone number for Mike in the Night. 305-851-2440, or you can add me on Skype, Mike Martins 1980. So if you want to call into Mike in the Night on Saturday, there it is right there. If you guys want to call in and help me with the show, I would really appreciate you guys doing that. Because I'll tell you what it is with Mike in the Night. I need you guys. Right? And if you guys, you got to keep the show going. You got to keep this going. Mike, we need you. I need you guys to help me. I can't do this alone anymore. It's really hard. I can't depend on we're down to like 3 or 4 regulars on Mike in the Night now, and I can't depend on the 3 or 4 regulars every week. I need to have open lines. I need people to call in. I can't do this alone anymore. I need your help. It's hard. So I'm wholeheartedly asking if you guys can call into Mike in the Night, help me with the show. I need the help. I get a lot of support from people saying you can't cancel, you're a voice of reason, you're honest. There's not a lot of people out there that are actually connecting the dots and telling the truth. You have a track record, you're doing well. People love you. I get that. But I need you guys to call in. So I'll give you guys the number again. There's the phone number if you guys want to call into Mike in the Night. It's 305-851-2440. Please don't call me during the day or just randomly, because I get a lot of that when I give out the phone number. You could add me on Skype, Mike Martins 1980. I get people call me and spend a lot of time with me on the phone. And I ask them, can you just call in and you could verify this for people instead of me relaying the message? No, I'm scared to come on the show. So I'm asking, that people help me carry the cross. Help me with the show. It's been so long now. And for Mike in the Night to continue, I need people to call in and give us their side of the story. I need people telling us what they're seeing on the ground. I need your help. I just can't depend on the 3-4 guests, or we're down to 3 guests now on the show. So if somebody out there could call in and be part of the channel and add me on Skype, Mike Martins 1980. When I go live, I've been going live the same time since 2016. And I need you guys. Please. I need you guys to I need you guys. I can't do this alone anymore. I need first-time callers. I need more regulars to come on the show. So I'm asking humbly if that's possible. Yeah, if I get a good signal, I'll give it a try. Okay. What time to call? When we're live. We're live. We've been live every Saturday since 2016, and nobody even knows of our show, and that's so scary, man. That's so scary. That's so scary. All right. So here's Mike in the Night here. From 6 years ago, Mike in the Night, world is going nuts. Woke woman marries a train station. Good Wives Guide. What else we got here? Mike in the Night from almost 7 years ago. Mike in the Night, mass government misinformation via climate change and climate lockdowns ahead. And you should read a comment that was flagged on there that was saying, wow, this video looks like it was made yesterday. You're calling out everything that's happening today. Mike in the Night, women regret not getting married. Home ownership, look at this, 2017 by 2020. Look at the tent. These are all our live streams. See, they took down so many Mike in the Night. Mike in the Night, American debt load growing. It's an economic trap. India border crisis. Mike in the Night, World War woke. Economic perfect storm. Catalonia taking down statues around the world. So many Mike in the Nights here. So, again, a lot of episodes are gone. They're just gone. Yeah, a lot of episodes are gone here for Mike in the Night. Wokeness taking down statues. Conservative families labeled as terrorists. Mike in the Night, this is 5. Good evening. Good night. Authority that silently rules the country, and they're just kind of holding back and watching this whole fiasco unfold. There's a left-wing versus right-wing paradigm. Called. There was a name for them. So, there, Mike in the Nights there. Yeah, been going on for a long time now. We just haven't showed up a year ago and feeding our families now. After a year of videos. Hey, Art by Dano's in the house. Mike, I saw a crazy UFO last weekend. Yeah, just call into the show and tell us what's going on, because all this stuff ties in together. I hope one day you come to Portugal and your Portuguese fans can meet you. Gonfer 457, have you actually watched my Portuguese YouTube channel? You don't know I have a Portuguese YouTube channel, do you? Nobody knows, because I am so shadow banned. Here it is. Mike Martins in Portuguese. I'll give you guys a link if you want to follow. You might want to watch this documentary. There's a couple of documentaries here I made. Genocide in East Timor. You're going to want to watch that. Here, I'll give you the link to my If you're Portuguese and watching this, there you go. There's my Portuguese channel. And Africa Pavenda documentary. And these are documentaries, folks. I worked my buttocks off making these documentaries. And talking about things here. It's push 66, 67. Fala Gaddafi. Amava o seu povo. Ele gastava o dinheiro tudo para o seu povo, para poder viver uma vida de paz e assim faz. Oh, this is a good documentary. It's in Portuguese though. But I used to make documentaries like this and then there's the breakdown of how Africa's for sale, how China's taken over. And it's because of China. I think it's because of China I'm so heavily censored. It's because I've been calling out the Chinese longer than anyone else has. Straight up. Someone saying, "Don't you miss Portugal?" Of course, I miss Portugal, but it's really hard when you have 3 kids, a mom that came to Canada. Okay, when my mom came to Canada and paid off her house in 4 years, she's brainwashed into thinking I could buy a house tomorrow and pay it off in 4 years. Like, there's no, I can't win that. You know what I'm saying? My wife's from the Philippines, so she comes to Canada. She sees a sidewalk and a street light, and she thinks she's made it. Like, oh my God, look at this! Look at that sidewalk! Oh my God, look at those 2 street lights! I have finally made it to the first world. And it's very hard to change people's minds on that. You know what I'm saying? So Gone for 457 loves their content. Yeah, if I do make a trip to Portugal, I'll go on my. I'll do it. I'll announce it. I'll make a video, and if people want to meet me at the a couple of popular destinations in Lisbon that people could come and meet me at, and say hi and talk. Portugal is a much safer country than Brazil, for sure. For sure. But anyways, guys, I'm wrapping into an hour here on Average Mike. I'm sorry I'm so negative today and so, I don't know, just pissed off. I just am. I don't care. It's Average Mike's. We couldn't even get the stream to work the first time. Yeah, Dirk Zink, Project Bluebeam. Dirk, why don't you call into the show, buddy? Help me out. Come on, man. We need to start getting people calling into the show to help me out. I can't do it alone anymore. I can't. I'm tired. I can't do this alone anymore. So I need people to call in. I need you guys. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go open my shop. Call into Mike in the Night when we're live. We're live every Saturday since 2016. The same show every week for 500. How many episodes are we on? Here. How many episodes of Mike in the Night are we on? 526 or 27. So, someone sent me a video on Facebook. Yeah, Matrix. 7 p.m. Pacific time we start, and we take calls after we do headline news, okay? So we're cutting headline news down to about 25 minutes, and then we're going to be taking calls. And if nobody calls, then what we'll do is I'll just I'll shorten the show until we get more people on the show to call, because I've been doing this for so many years, right? You got all the Rumble heroes that are doing this, and a lot of people no one's heard of before are doing really well in the last year, right? Yeah, they are planning on bringing Jesus from the skies using Project Bluebeam. I don't think you need a Project Bluebeam to bring Jesus down. I think when the time is right, it's gonna come. I want to visit you in Canada. I will try to go to your. I want to go visit you in Canada, and I'll try to go to your store. Yeah, come and see me. I'm closed Sundays and Mondays though, so nobody freak out. Anyways, all right, guys, I'm gonna sign off here. I appreciate everybody being on the channel, liking, subscribing, and yeah, Mike Martin's here. I have spoken.